Welcome to my latest case, The Curse of Blackmoor Manor. To start, choose Junior or Senior Detective. If you're new to adventure games or need some help, choose Gameplay Overview. Dear Ned, greetings from jolly old England. Although right now I'm not so sure about the jolly part. That's because I'm on my way to Blackmoor Manor, where the daughter of one of our neighbors is living. The daughter, whose name is Linda, recently married Hugh Penbellan, a British diplomat. Hugh travels a lot, so the only people at the manor with Linda are Hugh's aunt, Mrs. Drake, and Hugh's 12-year-old daughter, Jane. The thing is, ever since Linda moved into the manor, her health has gone downhill. She's practically bedridden, and no one seems to know why. Her mother is convinced something is terribly wrong and wants me to find out what. So here I am, about to be dropped off at a huge centuries-old mansion in the middle of a dark, foggy moor. I can't tell whether the butterflies in my stomach are because I'm excited or just a tad creeped out. Talk to you soon. I hope. Nancy.
Night, miss, and good luck.
Nancy. Who's there? Hello? There's something out there!
Where, child?
Over there! I mean, something was out there.
Come in. I'm Mrs. Drake. I take it you are Nancy Drew?
Yes, and I really did see something, Mrs. Drake. I heard something, too.
Oh, people are always seeing and hearing things on the moor at night, especially you Americans. Why don't you just go on up to your room? It's the one with the moon on the door.
I'd like to see Linda, if I could.
I'm afraid Linda is, not quite ready to meet with you just now. But please, come see me after you've unpacked. I'll be in the conservatory.
All right, thank you. Wonder what goes there. A tripod. For a camera, maybe?
Do I have to learn this?
Yes, I'm afraid you do.
If I do well, can we play a game?
Yes, but only in French.
Oh.
Oh, forget it. Stay in Italy as long as you want, then. Some kind of husband you're proving to be. It's not all in my head. Don't bother.
This must be some kind of well, but doesn't work. Probably because the well's empty. Looks like John Penvellin may have developed some of the plants that are in here himself.
Spider-Mite's gone, or is it time for another bath? All settled in? Good. I'm happy that you're visiting Linda, but I know how much you teenagers like your televisions and loud stereos, so I must insist that you act respectfully and civilly while you stay with us. Since my nephew Hugh is away on business, I am in charge of this household, and if there's one thing I cannot stand, it's noise. Hugh's daughter Jane is staying with us and would very much like to meet you, but please try not to distract her. She has her studies and mustn't be disturbed during her lessons.
Is anyone else staying here?
We do not have any permanent house staff, if that's what you mean. The Penvellins have always been self-reliant. We get on quite well without being continuously mollycoddled by a squadron of insipid, gossiping ne'er-do-wells. Now, we do have two other house guests. Are Mr. Nigel Mukherjee, who is researching the Penvellin family history in the library, and Ethel Bossany, Jane's tutor.
Do you know what's wrong with Linda?
Oh, Linda simply needs some time to adjust to her new living situation. England is not the United States. We do things differently, or should I say properly, here. The doctor believes it's just a case of nerves.
Her mother told me she refuses to let anyone see her. Is that true?
I don't know, and the doctors don't know. No one seems to know anything. All I've been told is that Linda is unwell and that in her stead, I must look after matters. Now, please, I really do not have time to entertain you. You may have the run of the house, but do not break anything, and refrain from mucking about with items that aren't yours. Two rules Jane seems incapable of following. And before I forget, our kitchen is being remodeled, so our dining situation is rather unorthodox. I've made arrangements with a local restaurant to deliver meals to us. There should be a programmed number for them on the phone in your room. Feel free to order whatever you'd like.
I'm concerned about that thing I saw outside.
It was purely your imagination, unless you saw a stray dog. But I will not countenance any histrionics about this issue. We have enough to worry about with Linda. And please do not get any ideas about going outside to investigate. I do not want you tracking mud all over this house.
This conservatory is very beautiful. But why isn't there any water in the well?
I'm not quite sure. We never really used it, but it was always full of water. That is until my brother died. And then it just dried up. Most of these plants were brought over by my grandfather. He was quite the adventurer. I remember when he brought back Lulu from the Amazon. At first, Mother wouldn't allow us to play with it because it had picked up too many unsuitable words from sailors. But it gradually learned proper manners.
Who is Lulu?
Lulu is a very old parrot. She must be over 80 years old. Please be very careful with her, especially if you feed her. Parrots have quite delicate constitutions, you know.
Goodbye.
Good evening.
A carnivorous plant. Cool.
Who's hungry? Who's ready for some nummies?
Did you say something, Mrs. Drake?
Not to you, dear.
Ah, yes. Are you here from the agency? It's about time.
No, I'm Nancy Drew, a friend of Linda's.
How do you do? I'm Nigel Mukherjee. I'm researching the Penvellin family, and Mrs. Drake has graciously opened the library for me. Nothing much has been written about the Penvellins. Until now.
Sounds intriguing.
It might have something to do with their scandalous history. Or perhaps it has something to do with the family treasure.
Scandalous history?
Well, having a family member burned as a witch can hardly be considered a mark of pride, I dare say. And then there's the whole business with the Blackmoor beast.
Blackmoor beast?
It's a story that's been told for generations out here. During the 1600s, many of the villagers reported seeing a strange beast with red eyes and giant fangs prowling the moors. They asked the mistress of Blackmoor Manor, Eleanor Penvellyn, to put a bounty on the beast's head. But, oddly enough, she not only refused, she forbade anyone from hunting the creature. It was rumored that the beast was Eleanor's husband, whom she had cursed for finding out too much about the Penvellyn secret.
Penvellyn's secret?
For centuries, the Penvellyns have been very secretive. Some believe they're protectors of a fabulous treasure, or of some dark secret. There are several skeletons rattling about in the Penvellyn closet. Take, for example, Eleanor Penvellyn, tried and convicted of witchcraft in 1650, quite the height of the witch trials here in Essex. It was rumored that Cromwell arranged the conviction.
Cromwell?
Oliver Cromwell? Ironsides? I suppose they don't teach history any longer in the US. Lady Penvellyn was a rather vocal critic of Cromwell's policies and helped many of his enemies flee the country. Whether she actually was a practitioner of witchcraft is unknown, although many visitors to the manor during her tenure reported hearing strange, ghostly bells. Some even saw phantom hands floating about the manor, tolling their charmed chimes.
Who are all those paintings of in the Great Hall?
Those are the Penvellyns who owned Blackmoor Manor at one time or another.
I'll let you get back to your work.
Goodbye. Hello, Nancy.
I'll let you get back to your work.
Valet. Fascinating piece, isn't it? James Penvellyn sculpted it in 1591, although it appears that wand was added at a later date. He was quite a flamboyant figure and never married, but one day, a child appeared quite mysteriously in the castle, and he took her in as his own. That was Eleanor, and many of the townfolk believed her to be a changeling or fairy baby. I doubt you'll find much of interest in there. They're mainly law books. Charles Penvellyn was a prominent judge in the 16th century. Sad to say, he lost his son at a young age, left his estate to his grandson, Thomas. Interesting. I'm researching Philippe Penvellyn, and it appears that many scholars believe he was a pirate. That would explain his source of wealth. Those manuscripts are very old and brittle. They date back to the 14th century. Odo Penvellyn collected most of them. His father, Randolph, and son Milo were rather more interested in military victories than in book collecting. Those are mainly Penelope Penvellyn's collections of French novels. She was a patron to a raft of artists, and her salon was quite popular. She was quite the libertine, even kept her maiden name after her marriage.
Do you mind if I use this computer?
No, not at all. But it's very old. Feel free to use mine if I'm not here.
Who's Alan?
Alan Penvellyn was a noted researcher in computers and languages. Jane let me into his computer, but there was nothing much of interest on it.
What's the password?
I'm not sure.
Wonder what happened in there. Linda? Hi, it's me, Nancy Drew.
Nancy Drew, our friendly neighborhood detective. Well, welcome to Blackmoor Manor. I apologize for greeting you under such unusual circumstances.
So, how are you feeling?
How am I feeling? Well, I feel like... I feel like something really strange is happening.
Your mother is very concerned about your condition.
My condition? What's my mother told you? What her son-in-law keeps telling me? That it's all in my head? That I'm just an unhappy new bride? That I just need time to adjust? I'm tired all the time, my mouth is dry, my vision is blurry. But that's not important. Here's what's important, Nancy. There are some doors that should never be opened. There are some doors that hold secrets which must never be known. That's everything you need to know. Now if...
Mummy, can I come in?
No, you're supposed to be in your lessons.
Lessons are over. I want to meet Nancy.
I said no, Jane.
Okay.
That was my stepdaughter. She can be such a pest sometimes. Anyway, I understand you feel an obligation to my mother, but trust me, there's nothing you can do. You're welcome to stay, but I strongly recommend that you go home as soon as possible.
Please, Linda, just tell me what's wrong. Linda? Okay, I'll let you rest. But I'll be back. I'm here for you if you need me.
Hi, you must be Nancy. I'm so pleased you're here. I'm Jane. I know you've come to visit my stepmom, but I'd love it if you could pop by whenever you get the chance. Oh, we'll have such fun. Let's play a game.
Not right now. Maybe later. I'd like to ask some questions first.
Sure, what do you want to know? About Mummy? I mean, Linda. I do hope you'll help. She's been a bit out of sorts lately.
Do you know why she doesn't want to be seen?
I think maybe it's because of the lady in black. I was playing in Mummy's room when she wasn't there, and when I looked up, there was a lady all dressed in black putting something on Mummy's nightstand.
Did you recognize the woman?
I couldn't see her face because she wore a cape with a hood. The lady put a note on Mummy's nightstand, but I didn't read it. That's when Mummy started feeling poorly. I don't want to think about that. Let's play a game. It will cheer me up.
Not right now, but maybe later.
You can come in any time you want, even if I'm not here. I've got some really smashing things. I'm so happy you've come, Nancy. I hope you can make Mummy feel better. Nigel gave that to me when I was in the library once. I think he was hoping it would scare me, but it didn't. I'm too smart to believe in that sort of stuff. I used that to make cakes for Lulu the parrot. That's why the ingredients are so nasty. Like, I would eat mealworms. Aren't you glad we don't have to use that thing to cook our food?
I saw the kitchen. What happened to it?
I guess you could say I happened to it. But it was Ethel's fault. She inspired me to study the oxidation rates of different kinds of cookie doughs. Only my snickerdoodle experiment got away from me.
Who's this?
That's my mum, my real mum. She's an opera singer. It's not like she's famous or anything, but she does live in Paris.
What is this book?
Don't know, really. Ethel gave it to me. She said it belonged to my grandfather. Do you think Brady Armstrong is cute? That was written by Charles Penvillin way back in like the 1500s. When I read it, it seemed really familiar, you know?
Looks like you're learning some interesting stuff.
Bet you wouldn't say that if you were the one who had to learn it.
You had a guinea pig?
Yes, but it died.
When?
I don't know. I'd really rather not think about it, all right? Hi, Nancy.
Have you ever seen anything strange outside?
Once I saw my Uncle Roger's toupee fly off during a windstorm. Talk about freaky.
I mean, have you seen a strange animal outside?
No, but I have heard weird noises like this. Howling. But not like a dog howling, more like something human. I don't want to think about that. It's scary enough having to live in this gloomy place.
Do you think there's a treasure hidden around here?
I highly doubt it. I mean, if there were, wouldn't someone have already found it? When I asked Ethel about it, she said that it's the Penville name and heritage that should be treasured. Blech.
Do you know what the password is for the computer in the library?
Yes, but I won't tell. Not unless you beat me at Skull and Bones. My friend Hulga bought this for me. It's like Go Fish, but you have to collect 3 of a kind of weird things like zombies and ghosts. You go first.
Do you have any haunted houses?
Dig. Would you happen to have any ghosts?
Go dig. Do you have any bats?
Here you go.
Do you have any tombstones?
Sorry. Do you have any coffins?
You're going to have to go dig. Do you have any skulls?
Dig. Do you have any coffins?
Afraid not. Do you have any ghosts?
Here you go.
Do you have any witches?
Here you go.
Do you have any tombstones?
Go dig. Do you have any zombies?
You're going to have to go dig. Do you have any haunted houses?
Here you go.
I got a match. Do you have any bats?
Go dig. Do you have any coffins?
Go dig. Do you have any bones?
Here you go.
Do you have any tombstones?
Sorry. Do you have any coffins?
Afraid not. Do you have any zombies?
Here you go.
I got a match. Do you have any witches?
Nada. Would you happen to have any ghosts?
All yours. A match? You're doing great.
Any bats?
All yours. A match? You're doing great.
Do you have any coffins?
Get out your shovel. Do you have any skulls?
Sorry. Do you have any spiders?
All yours.
Do you have any coffins?
All yours. You got a match. Good for you.
Do you have any spiders?
Sorry. Do you have any skulls?
Dig.
I got a match.
Any bones?
All yours. A match? You're doing great.
Do you have any spiders?
Go dig. Do you have any witches?
Go dig.
I got a match.
Do you have any spiders?
Get out your shovel. You got a match. Good for you. Do you have any skulls?
You lose. I got more. Do you want to play a game?
Okay.
You go first.
Do you have any coffins?
Nada. Do you have any zombies?
All yours.
Would you happen to have any ghosts?
Sorry. Do you have any tombstones?
Sorry. Would you happen to have any ghosts?
Sorry. Do you have any zombies?
Here you go.
That's a match. Do you have any skulls?
Sorry. Do you have any spiders?
You're going to have to go dig. Do you have any bones?
Go dig. Do you have any spiders?
Afraid not. Do you have any haunted houses?
Here you go.
Do you have any tombstones?
Dig. Would you happen to have any ghosts?
Afraid not. Do you have any skulls?
Here you go.
I got a match. Do you have any coffins?
Here you go.
I got a match. Do you have any bones?
Sorry. Would you happen to have any ghosts?
Go dig. Do you have any spiders?
Here you go.
Do you have any tombstones?
Here you go.
Do you have any bones?
Sorry.
That's a match.
Would you happen to have any ghosts?
You're going to have to go dig. You got a match. Good for you. Do you have any haunted houses?
Go dig.
I got a match.
Any bats?
Get out your shovel. A match? You're doing great. Do you have any spiders?
Go dig.
I got a match.
Would you happen to have any ghosts?
You're going to have to go dig. Do you have any spiders?
Sorry.
I got a match.
Would you happen to have any ghosts?
I win.
You won. Good job. Okay, the password for my grandfather's computer is on his coat of arms, plain as day.
The lady in black you saw in Linda's room, did she look like anyone you know?
Like I said before, I couldn't really see her face, but she was kind of dressed like the lady in the Great Hall.
Which lady?
Eleanor. I know it sounds weird. That's why I didn't want to tell anyone. It's too creepy. Sometimes wonder if I just dreamed it all up. Mrs. Drake is always saying I have a rampant imagination.
Do you want to play a game?
That would be lovely. Which game would you like to play? I have a fun astronomy game. Look inside the chest over there and pick a game. My great aunt said it's a hope chest, so I put my games in there in the hope someone would come over to play. We can play Bull, Constellation Match, Petroglyph Punch, Skull and Bones, and I also have a jigsaw puzzle.
You sure have a lot of games.
I love games. I want to make computer games when I grow up.
Want to play whatever game this is?
Okay. I actually found it in your room. Actually, it's Bridget's room. I mean, it used to be her room. I mean, she died like 300 years ago. You can see a painting of her in the Great Hall. She's the one with the telescope. Okay, so you have to match up a pair of constellations. I made all the matches in 40 tries. Try to beat my record. Good show, but you didn't beat my score.
I should get going.
Come back soon.
Oh, you startled me. You must be Nancy. I'm Jane's tutor, Ethel.
Hello, Ethel.
Jane is very excited you're visiting. You're all she's talked about for the past week.
I saw Jane's lesson schedule. That's quite an unusual list of subjects.
Yes, well, I'm sorry, but I'm in a bit of a rush. I need to go over some things with Jane.
Oh, I guess I'll be going then.
It was a pleasure meeting you, Nancy. Our paths will cross again, I'm sure.
I need the key. Oh, it's just a parrot.
Scared ya?
Polly want a cracker?
Not Polly. Lolo. 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 Lolo.
Okay, I get the point. Lulu.
Lolo. 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 Lolo.
Do you by any chance know Latin?
Quiste rogavit, bene vidi vici, semper ubi sub ubi, morituri status.
I'll take that as a yes. Would you mind translating something for me?
Fire away.
Aequinoctium vernum.
The longest day of the year is solstitium, the summer solstice. The shortest day is bruma, the winter solstice. Equinoctium vernum is a spring equinox. Equinoctium autumnalis is a fall equinox. Day equals night. Lulu's always right.
Bye, bird.
Cheerio. And the winner is Lulu. And the winner is Lulu.
There goes my cell phone. Hello?
Hi, Nancy. It's Mrs. Petrov. How is everything? Have you seen Linda yet?
Literally speaking, no, but I did talk to her. Not that she told me anything.
I'm just about at my wit's end. I've never known her to act like this. The last doctor that examined her said that aside from a little dry skin, which is not unusual for her, she was perfectly fine.
Why is she hiding behind that curtain?
I have no idea. When I was out there last week, I got fed up and pulled the curtain back. She threw a fit, but otherwise she looked absolutely normal. A little pale, perhaps, but who wouldn't be pale, cooped up like that? Something has changed her. Something in that house. Hugh is just as bewildered and upset by her behavior as I am. Please get to the bottom of this, Nancy. You're our last hope.
Where is Hugh?
He was called to Rome. As a diplomat, he's always being called out of the country without warning and without any say in the matter. He'd much rather be there with Linda, although
Although what?
it's just that Hugh said it hasn't been very easy for him to talk to her lately. Whenever he calls, which is at least once a day, Linda always seems to fly off the handle for no reason, which doesn't make sense. Linda has always been extremely level-headed and even-tempered. She never gets angry. At least she didn't used to.
Who exactly is Mrs. Drake?
She's Hugh's aunt. She's taken care of Blackmoor Manor ever since her brother died. He was Hugh's father. She's a bit of a character.
I noticed.
The way she spends all her time in that conservatory, slouching around, trowel in hand, murmuring to herself. You'd think she was burying something. Or somebody.
Goodbye, Mrs. Petrov.
Goodbye, Nancy. Oh, one more thing. My niece is on call and her husband's out of town, and I told her I'd go over there and babysit if she had to work. So if you call and I don't answer, that's why. Bye.
Hello?
Hi, Ned.
Hey, Nancy.
Just wanted to let you know I got here safely.
So how's Blackmoor Manor?
A little on the spooky side.
How's Mrs. Petrov's daughter?
Next question, please.
That bad, huh?
It's just very strange. She stays in bed hiding behind this curtain all day.
Do you have any idea what the deal is?
Nope.
We'll just keep talking to her. As soon as she knows she can trust you, I'm sure she'll open up.
Linda's stepdaughter, Jane, she has this really weird picture book in her room.
What do you mean, a picture book?
I mean, pictures are all that's in this book. No words, just these strange hand-drawn images. And the book is old, like it's been around for centuries.
Drawings, huh? Maybe it's some kind of an ancient instruction manual. You know, for people who didn't know how to read.
Could be. When I asked her about it, Jane said her grandfather gave it to her. And then
what?
And then she changed the subject.
Sounds like that book may prove to be pretty important.
I'll talk to you soon.
I'll be waiting.
This is Paliki.
Hi, my name is Nancy Drew. Could I ask you some questions about lycanthropy?
I'm sorry, I'm about to leave for a seminar and I'm very busy. Besides, I've written 2 books and 12 articles on the subject. If you have questions, perhaps you should try reading one of them.
I did. That's how I got your number.
Well, if you didn't understand something, I'm afraid I really don't have time to explain it to you.
I understood everything. It's just that I know someone who seems to be exhibiting some of the symptoms of lycanthropic
Lycanthropic metamorphosis? Well, that's different. Talk to me.
What do you consider to be the definitive signs that someone is turning into some kind of animal?
Symptoms are relatively subtle. Dry mouth, fatigue, impaired vision, and reduced blood flow to the skin. Is this person pale?
Yes, but the really disturbing thing is, she won't let anyone see her. She just lies in bed all day behind this curtain.
And at night, what does she do at night?
I can't be sure, but I do know that I saw something outside the night I arrived. Some kind of animal. And when I asked to see my friend, I was told she was unavailable.
This sounds very promising.
You don't really believe she's turning into some kind of creature, do you?
Young lady, I believe the human mind is capable of far more than we can ever imagine. Pale skin, dry mouth, fatigue. The human mind is perfectly capable of causing the body to exhibit such symptoms, if it is so motivated.
What would motivate someone to turn into an animal?
Most lycanthropes are under a great deal of stress, due perhaps to the death of a loved one, marriage, divorce, a relocation, that sort of thing. They're emotionally vulnerable, which means they're particularly open to the power of suggestion.
Someone suggests they become a lycanthrope?
Not in so many words, of course. Somehow they get it in their head that they're destined to take another form. They see something, they read something, someone says something to them. Somehow they come to believe they're supposed to undergo a physical metamorphosis, and so, in their weakened psychological state, they do.
Are temper tantrums symptomatic of lycanthropy?
There are no hard and fast rules when it comes to lycanthropy, or almost anything else for that matter. But if someone believes that what they're changing into is irrational, or has a bad temper, then they will exhibit irrational, ill-tempered behavior, especially if this is contrary to their former nature.
Thanks for your time.
You're welcome.
I need something else for this.
Polly is a stupid bird. Polly is a stupid bird.
I need the key. I need the key. I need the key.
And the winner is Lulu. And the winner is Lulu.
The key fits, but it won't turn. I need to put some kind of grease in there first.
Boar's Head Pub, this is Tommy.
Hi, this is Nancy Drew. I'm supposed to call you if I want some food.
Right. Nancy Drew, out at the old Blackmoor Manor, are you? Coo, you must be Hank Marvin up there. Pity about your kitchen, but we'll fix you up for some Becks and Posh. Just tell me what you'd like.
Okay. What do you have?
We've got some loop-de-loop, bangers and mash, a real fine pinky and perky, and a delicious dog's eye, me fork and knife just rubber-ducked. Hello?
Could you repeat that?
Sure, we've got some loop-de-loop, bangers and mash, pinky and perky, and a dog's eye, and they're all Robin Hood.
Can I have the dog's eye?
That'll make me Gooseberry right proud. Uncle Fred and Johnny Rudder?
Okay.
All right then, we'll come round and leave it at your Rory. Oh, and we've got no hot potato about, so it may take a bit, but we'll have it up to you in no time. Fish and taters. Hugh Penvillin here.
Hello, Mr. Penvillin. This is Nancy Drew. I'm the one who's visiting Linda. You know, from the United States, across the pond.
Yes, of course. Are you at Blackmoor?
Yes, I am, and I've talked to Linda.
Good for you, because frankly, that's something I've been quite unable to do lately. These temper tantrums of hers make rational discourse well nigh impossible.
She gets angry for no reason?
Absolutely none. We'll be talking on the phone about the weather or Jane's lessons or something equally innocuous, and suddenly she'll be bellowing at me and slamming the phone down.
Are you sure you didn't inadvertently say something, you know, argumentative?
I promise you, these rages of hers are totally uncalled for and quite unbearable. I love her dearly, but she's making things very difficult.
I understand that Mrs. Drake is your aunt?
Yes, Aunt Letitia. We're not very close, however. She's always been rather aloof, much more interested in being a Penvillin than a person, if you know what I mean.
Does Linda get along with her?
As far as I know, yes, although I have caught my aunt eyeing Linda strangely at times. And of course there's the 6-month habitation clause.
The what?
According to the Penvillin rules of inheritance, the spouse of Blackmoor Manor's current owner, that would be Linda since I'm the current owner, the spouse of the current owner must reside in the manor for at least 6 months. Should she or he leave the manor before 6 months is up, ownership of 1/2 of the estate immediately passes to the next legal heir.
And that would be Mrs. Drake.
Correct.
I met your daughter Jane.
Quite the bundle of energy, isn't she?
I get the feeling that she's a little lonely.
I'm sure she is, what with a private tutor instead of school and Linda being under the weather. And coming back to Blackmoor no doubt reminds her of her real mother. Renee and I were divorced almost 2 years ago. Jane went into a bit of a tailspin for a while, but she's come to adore Linda. She's been calling her Mummy since the day we were married.
Have you spent much time on your father's computer? The one that's in the library?
I dare say I've never touched it. Mathematics, computer science, linguistics, all the things that fascinated my scholarly father bored me to tears. He gave up on me quite early on. With Jane, however, it was a different story.
What do you mean?
From the day she was born, my father doted on her, far more than he ever doted on me. Read to her, bought her books, games. Truth be told, I was a bit jealous. He passed away when she was still a toddler, so it's unlikely she remembers all the attention he showered on her. But I do, and I still find it so out of character as to be mystifying.
It was nice talking to you.
This is an extremely busy time for me, so I apologize in advance if you call and I'm unavailable.
I understand.
Good. Cheerio.
Hi, Nancy.
I should get going.
Ta-ta.
I need something else for this.
Yes?
I spoke with Mr. Tucker at the Boar's Head pub, but frankly, I'm not at all sure what he said.
Yes, his language is quite colourful, isn't it? He's Cockney, you see. My brother Alan and I loved to make up Cockney rhymes when we were young. We'd drive our governess quite batty. Haven't got a pot of glue, haven't got a pot of glue. Ha! How we teased her.
Pot of glue?
A clue, dear. Haven't got a clue. Rhymes with glue, you see.
Goodbye.
The pleasure is all mine, child.
Hello, Nancy.
Have you seen any runes anywhere in the manor?
You mean like Norse runes? No, I haven't. I don't really know much about them anyway. Dead languages aren't really my bag, you know?
I'll let you get back to your work.
Goodbye.
That must be the food I ordered. A meat pie. That dog's eye thing had me worried. This smells delicious. I can use my Johnny Rudder to grease up that lock outside Jane's room. This'll loosen things up in there.
Head. This is Tommy.
Hi, this is Nancy Drew. I'd like to order some food.
Sure, we've got some loop-de-loop bangers and mash, Pinky and Perky in a dog's eye, and they're all Robin Hood.
I'll have some loop-de-loop.
Okay, one loop-de-loop. Uncle Fred and Johnny Rudder?
Okay.
All right then. We'll come round and leave it at your Rory. Baked potato.
Hi, Nancy.
Do you want to play a game?
Mm-hmm.
Let's play that constellation matchup game. Nope, couldn't beat your score. Do you want to play a game?
Mm-hmm.
Let's play that constellation matchup game. I took too many tries, but maybe next time. I should get going.
Ta-ta.
How about a game of petroglyph punch?
This is a game I bought in Arizona. You have to make as many matches as possible. On your mark, get set, go! Woohoo!
I should get going.
Toodles!
That must be the food I ordered. Ah, loop-de-loop, otherwise known as soup. Tommy's cooking is beginning to grow on me. I can use my Johnny Rudder to grease up that lock outside Jane's room. I need something else for this. 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 Looks like a piece is missing. Maybe I should take another look at Brigitte's coat of arms. Wonder what this is. This lens is supposed to go into a telescope that sits on a tripod. She's probably sleeping. What is that? Maybe I'd better have a look around.